My name is introducing myself, bringing everybody, I just engaged with all the. All those. They called next week and said, my book is on the table. Because they said, know what it looks like.
It's like, look at that.
Okay, folks, we are now out on the worldwide interweb or whatever it's called. So let's get started. Don't forget to silence your gadgets. Any paperwork for the board goes to Mr. Curran. We'll begin as we always do with an invocation and pledge. The invocation is being done by Julie. Bob's doing the pledge. If you wish to join, please rise.
Father, we are blessed to have a nation of brave men and women who have greatly sacrificed for our country. Our great nation celebrates Memorial Day in honor of their service. May our prayers encourage and strengthen those who have lost loved ones, inspire those serving in the military, and pay respect to those who have given their all for our freedom. We remember the ultimate sacrifice today and honor the families with heartfelt thanks. As we conduct the business of Berrien County today, we are reminded of what you said in Philippians, to not look at our own interests, but to those of others. Please guide us to understand the needs of all of our county. All of the glory to you, Lord God our Father. Amen.
Amen. Please join with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you both. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Freeling, Harrison, Hinkleman, Ott, Pitchford,
Present.
Tyler, here, Borath, Werfel, Yarborough, Elliott. You have 12.
Thank you. Minutes. Any changes? I'm not aware of any, so if they're okay.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve.
Okay, moved by Freeling. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Pitchford. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those minutes are approved as submitted. Madam Clerk, I know we have at least one communication.
Could we also approve the closed session minutes
Okay. We'll do that.
for April 17th, BOC and COW,
April
Uh,
27th?
or April 17th, sorry.
Commissioner Tyler, I think you were probably going to do that.
Yes, I would like to make a motion to approve the 2 sets of minutes. And there was one on attendance. There was only 11 voting to close the session, not 12, to make that a correction.
Thank you. Is there support? Harrison supports. We don't need a roll call. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. The correction is noted from 12 to 11. Now, I think we can get a letter.
We got 2 communications, MIHI, the latest happenings. It was the one for, it talks about the BC bid information and BEAD applications.
Right.
And then Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, travel by train to Lake Fun in St. Joseph, Michigan. It was an email received 5/20, and that was all.
Great, thank you. I am thinking we may have a little bit to adjust on these minutes. Because on the agenda rather, it shows committee reports next before we
We're moving forward.
Mr. Chair, that was done because of the added resolution, just in case there was any questions about that added.
Okay,
We're hoping to allow for the committees to discuss it.
the one we discussed a couple days ago. Okay. Okay, well, committee reports. Admin.
Thank you, Matt. First in to see us this morning was our road department director, Mark Heiliger, and Commissioner Ott would like to report out on that.
Yep, Mark came and saw us and he filled us in that the hot mix asphalt production started up May 1st. And that they have had a pretty busy week. The last couple weeks, they had more than 30 trees down throughout the county that they had to take care of and remove. Seal coat operations are being conducted. He did say there probably will be a slack in asphalt production and doing the roads within the county once 94 starts getting completed because they're gonna suck up all the asphalt that's being produced. And there were some finished projects, Hollywood Road Bridge, out by, I believe that's Terry's district, maybe.
Yeah.
Commission, yeah, Elliott's. Jim up there in Florence Avenue at 16th Street up in Buchanan, Niles. But other than that, things are starting to get busy and now the roadwork construction starting on 94, my district going that way. But other than that, that's it. He said everything was on track and he didn't expect any delays or anything. So that was it.
Okay, thank you, Alex. We have a board appointment coming through our committee. We would like to appoint Steve Frablich to the Community Corrections Advisory Board. One of the members is stepping down and Steve would fill that position. So do we have to do a vote with the committee?
Vote for this.
Just on this?
I think that is a committee, not me, so
Okay,
when you're done, if you want to just go ahead and do it, we'll do it before we go to finance.
if it's okay, I'll do it right now. Someone want to make a motion to approve this?
We did it.
No, you gotta do it in here.
Yeah, we got to do it right now. Okay, Alex, you second. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Okay, and that takes care of that. Okay. We have a property use request for this parking lot for tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. and it's only for 15 vehicles. We approve that request. We have a couple of resolutions. One ending in 6240. This is to approve the Sheriff's Department providing 2 police vehicles to the LMC Police Academy for their driving course. We did that last year and it went very well. Then we have a resolution ending in 6239. This has to do with the Michigan Wetlands Board and credits. We tabled this resolution. I'm going to get with Brian and Thaddeus to see if we can resolve some of the questions that came up on this particular topic, and then we'll bring it to the full board. We had our HR director, Kristen, and Brian come in and talk to us about resolution ending in 5237, which they also went to the other 2 parent committees, so you are all aware of that, and that is our report.
Questions for admin?
No.
No, his name is Vrablik, V.
Spell it.
Yes, just a moment. Last name is Vrablik.
Okay, just in an abundance of caution, Madam Clerk, we've got Volrath and Ott who moved and supported. Can you reaffirm your motion and support? Because we're gonna have the whole board do a voice vote on that. I think it's technically a committee
Oh, it's
appointment.
the whole board. Okay, I'm sorry. Dave, you wanna restate? Just restate your motion.
Make a motion to approve the appointment of
Steve Raylick.
Community Corrections
Advisory Board. Okay.
Alex,
to replace.
Can I support that?
Yeah. Okay, so moved and supported by Volrath and Ott. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It's done twice now. So,
Thank you.
okay, Madam Chair of Finance.
Thank you very much. I think we have the same kind of case, in that we have a vacancy on a planning commission committee. And we were given two names to name, and did we vote on it?
We
No.
concurred on it.
We
The vote
concurred.
happens Here.
And so what I would like to ask is that we vote for Joe Steppich to be a member of Marion County Planning. Is that the correct?
Turn.
And if we need that motion, if we need that motion to be made, I can make that motion at this one time.
Okay,
Thank you.
do we happen to know the term? Is it a 3-year to planning? or-
It is the
How long is it?
fulfillment of a vacated term.
Okay, so whatever the balance of the term is,
Yes.
okay,
It's completing,
okay. So Joe
Steppich,
Steppich.
Stepich.
John is moving to appoint him for the balance of the term for the spot that's currently held by Carrie Woods.
Yes.
Gary Woods, oh, Gary Woods,
Gary
okay, I
Woods.
know Gary. Is there support?
Support.
So moved by Hinkleman, supported by Freeling. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye,
Opposed, same sign.
thank you.
Joe is now in.
Yes.
Thank
Was
you
there a
very,
second one? No,
no,
okay,
that was it.
all right, good.
And then, we had, our director of personnel, came in and talked to us about I'm just trying to find it. Her name is Kristen Reynolds, Human Resources Director, talked to us about the, Police Labor Council, FOP, leaving their union. And that's something that would come from the personnel department. And so I'll leave that for Commissioner Harrison to talk about it. But she made a really good explanation to us, and it was valuable. Then we have a number of resolutions that will be for today, May 22nd. And this morning we listened to Warren Parrish, our equalization, thank you. Our equalization, and he's here in the audience so that if there are other questions or you need to know more, it will be before we actually vote for it. Do you all have any questions or that you would like to ask, or did we get enough information this morning? Okay, and perhaps the committee will have something to say.
No questions are great.
We love no questions.
I'm trying to see if we have another resolution for, it's coming from the personnel. I'll leave that alone. And then from finance, we paid the bills and they were 2 million, this is in the auditing report, 2,488,949.59. And for the road department, our bills were $196,433.86. And then we have a resolution that's going to come to us next week. And it's in 2013 that the county of Marion County entered into a lease with a current farm land that we own on Napier. And it's for every 3 years. And so since we first got the property, and our thought is that it will be used for a campus. We've not used it yet, but have been fortunate enough to be able to rent it each year. And this is for 3 years. It'll go, no, 2 years. It says it'll go through 2027, and then we'll look at it again and decide what to do. Then we had a bid. A bid was put out for sites, holographic sites. And I think I figured out it's the site that goes on a gun. We're ordering 55 of them. The bids were sent out to 7 companies and 12 responded. And so we have real good choice, and they are in line with each other, which is good. Sometimes you see things like this. But what we do is we make a motion to send it back to the sheriff. Is it Sheriff's Department or? Yes, Sheriff's Department. And they look and accept the lowest bid if it fits the qualifications or the things that they need. Otherwise, they would come back to us saying they needed to be larger. Then we had a waiver, and they said, this is a good thing. We're buying sidewalk paving salt for building and grounds this time of year. We had one waiver, and the price is good, and so we're going to stock up on that because it's going to snow again.
No time soon.
Okay, and then the Marion County Conservation District has an employee, and I don't know if it was a new employee, but what's going to happen is they're going to work with our drain department also regarding erosion. And that's all I know. Do you all have anything else to add?
I believe that it's Conservation District Partnership, and the change is gonna come before the board next week. And it's the soil and sedimentation review permitting. And so this is a partnership that happens with the Conservation District for the work that they do.
Thank you.
Questions for finance? Mr. Chair of PHS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We also met this morning. We had 2 resolutions, both for action today. One from the GIS department relating to the Environmental Systems Research Incorporated. That's a state contract. So that is on your agenda today, as well as one for personnel wage increases and job classification changes. I think all the committees have been talked to about that. We also had a lengthy report from Jill Adams, a lot of activity in the Parks Department, some related to the storm damage that they brought up with the respects to the road department. So there are some issues that we'll need to address and get creative with tree damage down at Love Creek. Jill also brought us up to speed on use of funding for park changes. And then the materials management plan, this is a contract with Eagle. And so we're waiting on final guidance out of the state of Michigan. Then there are several recycling events coming up, one on June 3rd for household chemicals and electronics. That's going to be at Chickaming Township, and then another on the pesticide collection, and that's going to be on June 18th. And then she gave us an update on the work down at Silver Beach. Playground equipment is installed, and we're waiting for final review and inspection. And then the fencing will come down. The entrance lane, the additional entrance lane into the park is been installed, and so we're excited about that. And then there are concession stand improvements being made. Some of them, though, because of timing on equipment, won't be done until the end of the summer. And then there was a special event request from a local church that the Parks Commission has supported. And then we've got a celebration of Madeline Bertrand reaching the ripe old age of 40 years. And so that's going to be coming up this summer. So we had a good discussion with Jill about the various activities at the Parks Department. We also had a lengthy discussion about the senior millage and how those funds are used by the various senior centers. And so we're making some adjustments in some of the data needs. And then the chairman came in and talked a bit about the land swap for wetlands. And that pretty much concluded our meeting.
Questions for PHS? All right, we'll move then to public comments regarding resolutions. And this includes the added resolution ending in 5237, which is on the back of the two-sided copy of the agenda. We don't waste paper. Yes.
I make a motion to approve the
Including the added resolution ending in 5237.
Seconded.
Seconded. Okay, moved by Werfel, seconded by Pitchford to approve the consent calendar, including the added resolution ending in 5237. Any discussion? Ma'am.
Two items, if I may. I mentioned it in our 8:30 meeting, but I am abstaining on one of the purchase orders from requisition B2505079. That's the resolution number. The PO number is 77688 for Rev Excavating for work happening on a drain in the amount of $15,000 in an abundance of caution. But the other item is I just want to recognize Warren Parrish. He came in, he had informed the finance committee of his finding as it related to what we had reported last week of a Headley rollback. We're not having a Headley rollback within the county because of the work that he had done of just really going over everything, doing the calculations. And so I want to recognize him and his staff for that work. Because it is an impact of almost $300,000 that could have happened just for this year had that not been found. And then the other is recognizing our HR director and the work that she did as it related to the reclassification of those that are non-union and helping to get that, in front of us and move forward to help have sort of things solidified and stabilized. So I just want to take a moment publicly to recognize both of them and their staff for the work they did. Thank you.
Very good, thank you, and definitely well done.
Thank you.
That's all right. Any other comments about the consent calendar with the added resolution? All right, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison, Hinkleman, Ott, Pitchford,
Yes.
Tyler, yes, Molrath, Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes. Thank you. Commissioner reports, will go clockwise.
Yes, I attended the Riverwood meeting with Commissioner Ott. We went over our budget.
Excuse me, I don't even know who's talking here.
Sorry about that. So we went over our budget auditing process, and it was a good and boring audit, but boring audits are good audits. And we also went over our regular ends monitoring, which we discussed at length. We got a report from the SWIMBA board retreat, and I think that was about it. It was a very abbreviated meeting, but it was a good meeting nonetheless. And if I missed anything, Commissioner Ott can report on that. And that concludes my report.
I had the honor of attending the dedication of Yarborough Park. I'm gonna let Mamie talk more about that, but it was awesome. Myself, Julie, and Mamie were there. It's absolutely wonderful to see, and congratulations. We had our SMCAA board meeting last night. Pretty uneventful, just a lot of good things are happening with the organization. A lot of people are being helped. we're keeping an eye on some of the things coming out of the federal government right now, specifically the big, beautiful bill that's being presented, because the initial proposal of the bill zeroed out community development block grant funding. It also zeroed out Head Start funding and like HEAP funding, which would have a irrevocable impact on organizations like SMCAA. So they're keeping a very close eye on how that bill progresses. Then finally, I wanted to give public kudos to Kristen on the work that you did for the union and non-union changes that happened. That was a lot of work, and I really do appreciate how you kept us informed through the process. So thank you.
No report.
Tuesday, Commissioner Harrison and Commissioner Volrath and I participated in the EOC exercise for the Cook nuclear plant. We have one more exercise before we then will have the FEMA evaluated. And so far, everything's going very well. That's my report.
Tuesday, Monday, we had our Material Management Planning Committee down in Dowagiac, and we had a presentation from a gentleman from, they do large scale composting. I mean, the size that where you have these big front end loaders just to go over and turn it over once in a while to change the temperatures evidently, but it's a huge operation, and the challenges of getting that as a household thing with the businesses and everything is going to be a huge challenge, but they're making a little headway. Some, he said a few steps forward and then some steps back, but it's a process they're in and seems to be working for them. So that was about it.
As Commissioner Bell reported, we attended Riverwood. The only thing I would add is that their audit was in compliance with the state federal government regulations, and they ended with a very healthy surplus for the balance at the end of the year, which they were very happy about. And I'd like to give kudos to the road department for their work they did during the storms, because they were all over the place. So that's it.
So I attended the Peace Officer Memorial last week following the board meeting. Several meetings discussing the proposed salary changes and labor grade changes. The EOC exercised my kudos to Mr. Curran. He's basically in charge of the whole event, and he does just a wonderful job keeping all the different agencies on task. So my compliments to him. And then also a meeting to discuss the juvenile center and some of the issues there.
I attended the Peace Officer Memorial last Thursday as well, which was very well done. Attended, as Commissioner Pitchford had said, the dedication to the park on Riverview Drive to Mamie's late husband. It's a wonderful park. If you haven't been down there, definitely go check it out. It was very beautiful. Had a Michigan Works meeting yesterday. On a kind of cool note, we have received, I think, a verbal word, not all of the documents yet, but we've received 2.3 million for the apprenticeship programs for the second half of 25, which is the second most in the state, and it is the most we've ever received in a second award. But it will affect 43 employers and apprenticeship programs, which we have found that apprenticeship programs can create a 94% retention rate of employees, which is really cool. So that's really cool for our area. Had a parks meeting yesterday, which was pretty much covered by PHS. And then we've got land bank this afternoon. That's my report.
I'll make it as brief as I can. I attended the Peace Officer Memorial as well. Had the discussion on the juvenile center earlier this week, as well as we got briefed on some of the personnel matters and the discussion that we considered as a board. And then I've been in the thick of being a parent of a graduate of high school, so we're in all of the last right now. One of the things I had the honor of attending was the FFA awards for the Niles chapter, and our Niles chapter Parley Pro team actually is the state champions, and they'll be going, so parliamentarian procedure, and they'll be going to nationals in the end of October. And so that was really interesting, because anybody who has sat and dove into Robert's rules knows that can be mind numbing and eye crossing pretty quickly in the way that process happens. So to know that we actually have our state champions here. It's pretty spectacular. And then I just want to take a moment and recognize all of those graduates that we have throughout Berrien County, high school, college, university, and just taking a moment to acknowledge them publicly on their accomplishments. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Annette for all the work that she does and did for me on short notice and short time. And I'm always proud to read it because she puts things together beautifully. So she wrote a resolution and you all voted for it for my church, Second Baptist Church, which is 150 years old in the city of Benton Harbor, or in Benton Harbor, I don't say city, township and all, in Benton Harbor. And then the rededication of the Charles Lee Mickey Yarbrough property was done that Saturday. It was raining all day and all, and I got up and said, what a beautiful day. and the sun came out, but this is the day the Lord has made. So I just thank the people. I don't know how many chairs I asked for, if I asked for 50 or 100. It was full. It looked like a church under a tent, and I was in charge. But we had a lovely time. It was just an hour, but we talked and visited and people knew each other or met new people. So I just thank you all so much. And I'm thankful that that park was named while my husband was still alive. He knew it and he went there every day. And so it's just been a real pleasure to be on the St. Joe River. I also attended the Michigan Works meeting yesterday morning. And then in the afternoon, we went to Love Creek for our parks meeting. And I like it because each time that we have a meeting, if possible, we go to one of our parks and get to see what happened from last year or what it's done. And the people that worked, I told them they look so young. But they're not, because they've been there 30 years, but they look like college, kids, because they're outside, they're in the woods, they're walking, digging, chopping. We had a tremendous amount of trees to fall in Love Creek, and some they have to hire somebody to come because it's still hanging, but these pieces are so heavy. And so they've been working and cleaning up, and they have volunteers that come, and it's just a wonderful thing that they do. And what they do is each person at a property tells you what they've done, or you remember when we said we do so-and-so, it's done, or we couldn't do it. And so that's good to know that and to see the people that, are in charge. So I encourage you to take this, one of these papers has all kinds of what the parks are. Take your family, your grandchildren, whatever, and just be there an hour, a half hour. May take you an hour to get in to where it is. But most of them are free, and for you have a park pass. It doesn't cost you anything. And that's my report. Thank you.
Members of the board, your next night meeting will be on Thursday, June 5th, and that'll be in downtown Three Oaks. Similar to what we did back in May, I'm going to offer up orientation tours for any of the board that are curious to get out into the county's properties. So we reviewed this with the admin committee. The intent is to tour the South County Court, the Bakertown Road Department garage, and then lastly, we'll hit Madeline Bertrand Park. So there'll still be a little bit of a hike to get over to Three Oaks, but you'll get to see some of the operations down in South County. I'll work on finalizing the schedule. I'll push that out to the board as we get into that first week of June. And it's totally voluntary, but we'd love to see and show you some of the operations. If you didn't see the Herald Palladium this week, there was 2 articles of note. So one featured Commissioner Yarbrough and the rededication of the park. There is a copy of that article in your boxes upstairs.
Because I haven't seen it.
I'm sure she'd be willing to autograph it for you.
Yes.
The other article that was fun to see in this week's Herald Palladium relates to Erica upstairs. So our GIS department director was featured, and it was a really nice article just talking about her history, her dedication to public service, and then where that department is going on a go-forward basis. So that is also printed and in your mailboxes. So Commissioner Freeling, as well as several of you, have already complimented a couple of your staff that are in the room, but to Warren, to Kristen, really, really nice work. Warren caught an assessing error that has a massive monetary impact on the county, but it's one that I think you could line up dozens of assessors and they wouldn't have caught it. He caught it. His work is so solid. Warren, great job.
Yeah.
Kristen, you've been here for, I think, 2 weeks now. This is an ongoing joke. I keep misremembering her start date. You talk about somebody that's hit the ground running. Today's resolution, exceptional work. Good job. And then lastly, Annette, your authoring of that resolution as well as the honorary resolution and all you do. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you. This stuff doesn't get done without the people in this room. Those are my comments.
Thank you. Warren, you do still have to come in with a good joke every year when you do your annual report, so.
I was hoping I was out
No,
now.
no, really appreciate what you've done, but the joke.
Has he had a good joke?
Well, it's going up to me every time, so let's say Alex.
Alex,
Okay. Before we go to public comments, I would note the drain commissioner is here and the prosecuting attorney. Do either of you have anything for us? No? Okay. All right. General public comments. Anything under the sun in 2 minutes or less, name and town, if you wish to opine.
Elster Hager. You know, you guys gotta wear a badge or something. I know who you are. I was about ready to come over there and say, who the hell are you? Oh, I just better say you guys.
First time I came to meeting, he asked me that same question.
Yeah. Well, he's got his own little. Right?
He said I'm incognito.
So they all know me. Okay, now I wanna. You know, you guys are spending money that's not yours. You know, you remind me of somebody that goes to rob the gas station. Then he spends that money. He's spending other people's money. That's exactly what you're doing. Because there's nobody here. What, me, him, and him? And then you got yours. You got it outnumbered, about 10 to 1. Now, how do we go about solving that problem? You don't want to go about solving that problem. Actually, you created that problem. No, you meet during the day when those people that are taxpayers, they're working right now, aren't they? You think those guys are gonna get a half a day off, come down here at the meeting and contribute something or complain? You're like me, I'm the only one doing that. You should have the night meeting so that people can come here and help you. You know, some of those people are pretty smart. No, you think, no, there are 152,000 people out there. Some of them have more education than you do. Some of them might contribute something that might help. Of course, you don't listen to it. It's like that drinking fountain out there. Do something for the public. That's me.
2 minutes, sir.
See? That's about the only thing you guys do. You shut me off 2 minutes.
Are you going to join us in Three Oaks on the 5th of June? Are you joining us in Three Oaks on the 5th of June for the night meeting?
6 o'clock.
What night meeting?
You're invited. I think you were invited to New Buffalo last month. You were invited to New Buffalo on the 1st of May.
Go down there for 2 minutes complaining.
Oh.
Democracy, I call that.
Adolph, if you come to a night meeting, we will give you 3 minutes, a bonus. Anyone else wish to be heard? Yes, sir.
Michael Hoy, Benton Harbor. Just some appreciative feedback. I have noticed that the articles have returned back to the bookshelves here
And I just wanted to say thank you for returning the little bit of history back to this classroom. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then we will close general public comments. We'll go to other business. Anybody have any? Sir?
I have one question for Brian. What is going on with and I forgot to ask an admin, so I apologize, but the Orchard Mall pathway, roadway that the road department was gonna close off, has that started or what? Has there been a different solution for that?
So correspondence was sent to the property owner per the request of the admin committee. I believe it was probably 2 to 3 weeks ago that letter went out the door. No formal action has occurred with the road department, but the property owner was sent notice, given the opportunity to submit plans should he want to pursue some type of change to the driveway. And there's been no response thus far.
Anyone else? I would simply take note of the passing of Roger Zilke, who had been the drain commissioner for 8 years, I believe. And he had a stroke. Apparently he had enough of one that he wasn't able to pull out of it. And he did a good job for the drain office for a number of years. And some of us knew him initially at Zilke Brothers Nursery, because he came back and started running it for his parents 50 years ago. And in a different way, he did for Zilke Brothers Nursery what Willie Robertson did for Duck Calls, for the Duck Commander. I mean, he built the business up. He added new stock to their nursery, and he provided a lot of good stock all over, not just in Berrien County. So job well done for Roger, and he certainly will be missed. Announcements and reminders, we are closed for Memorial Day. We are closed next Thursday because it's the 5th Thursday of the month. So we will not meet again until Three Oaks at 6 p.m. on the 5th of June. And I think Colleen knows we're coming. And because I mentioned it to her last time I was in there and told her how much we appreciate the food that she has for us at the bar in the back upstairs in their reception area. And I was in no way trying to hint anything, but anyway, okay, so, yes, ma'am.
So under the announcements, there will be a trust investment meeting next Thursday that will occur at 12 p.m. That's for members of the finance committee and then the trust investment volunteers. So next Thursday, 12 p.m.
So, and that's a per diem meeting for finance. So, ma'am, did you have something?
That was what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Oh.
That's why I defaulted to him. Sorry,
Okay.
I yielded my time.